Good day, sir. I am John Miratis, and my report is in Module 3, which is the formative assessment. So first, I will tackle about the process of formative assessment. So, in formative assessment process, when we say formative assessment process, it is a usual process of a teachers to measure students' learning on how they understand a certain topic. So in this process, you as a teacher needs to monitor the students' learning and provide certain feedback that can be used by the students to improve their learning. So, in formative assessment, there is a process. So first process is plan learning targets and envision proficiency. Next is use teacher-designed formative practices to elicit evidence. And next is interpret evidences. Next, provide formative feedback to the student and adjust instruction. And lastly, adjust current learning goals or establish new learning goals and then continue the process. So let's move on to the characteristic of formative assessment. So the first characteristic is it is used during the instruction, and as you go with the assessment, you need to give the student the feedback that they need. The next characteristic is help determine the student's knowledge regarding the content relative to the curriculum goals, that it can be adjusted to instruction that can be made. So next is there is no grade given because it's only the feedback that the teachers will give. And lastly, students are involved. So they have the opportunities to demonstrate the learning that they know. So we have different types of formative assessment. So first is quizzes. So we are familiar with this because this quizzes is usually used by the teacher to determine the learning of the student. So when we say quizzes, it is a short, specific content targeted assessment that are aimed at providing data about student learning and understanding. They can quickly provide an educator with information about whether students understood the class content to help inform their future lessons. So next type is the exit slip. So exit slips are typically small pieces of paper where students are asked to respond a question in order to exit the classroom. Exit slips are purposely to specific lesson and specific targeted goals. So in exit slip, it is the assessment where students asked to respond to a question in order to exit the classroom. So next type of formative assessment is the KWL chart. It is a graphic organizer to glean students' prior knowledge, or students write what they know about a topic, or K, what they want to learn about a topic, which stand W, and last what they have learned about the topic, which is L. So next is in gathering the evaluating evidences of learning in formative assessment. So in gathering and evaluating evidence of learning, you need a scorecard or a rubric. So a rubric are the scoring guidelines for evaluating performance. A rubric indicates the criteria used to distinguish among qualitatively different levels of performance. Essentially, a rubric for understanding is a template or model that defines important qualities of understanding and further distinguishes different levels of understanding. So next is providing effective feedback. So, when using formative assessment, it is to measure the student's learning in order to provide a feedback. So, in using feedback, you as a teacher will need to make it effective in a way that the student will be able to reflect what kind of learning that they have and what they need to learn. So the purpose of feedback is to make the student understand and deepen their understanding about their learning process. However, effective feedback is designed to determine a learner's level of understanding and skill development to plan the next step towards achieving the learning intention or goals. So that's all. Thank you.